Hello and welcome back to New Hope Dairy and Cattle Farm. We're still in January, just after midday, and there's been a couple of, there's been a update to the Realistic Livestock mod, and we're going to go through that. It's quite a substantial update, well, in my opinion. I think it happened a couple of days ago, but I've only picked it up now. And yeah, basically it's added a monitoring system which I find quite interesting. So let's have a quick look at it. Well, first of all, before I go into that, I don't know whether I have actually shown you the help section for realistic farming, or the help manual for realistic farming. So if you go down to your settings, go through to help, you'll see at the top it's got base game and then it's got realistic farming. There have been some additions made to this since the beginning, and that is one of the updates that were made in the latest update, which I think is version 1.10. It's added monitors tab, so that's been introduced. And so in order to see the majority of animals statistics, you need to apply a monitoring tag to it, which can be done through the animal menu where you buy and sell animals. Monitoring tags are also visually shown on the animal on the left ear next to the ID tag. Monitoring tags result in important information being shown to you, including health, weight, lactation, production, and straw and food and water requirements. That's what I'm particularly interested in. Applying a tag to an animal will cost a small monthly subscription based on the animal species. If you choose to remove the tag will be removed at the start of the next month. That'll be at the main focus of this episode, and then we'll also just collect some slurry to put into our biodiesel plant. But in any case, yeah, so we are up here at the animal barn, and we'll start with our dairy herd. And if we go into our, just jump over the fence again as per normal, and go into our animal dialogue menu. And once again we get down to our animals. So you'll see Yargo yesterday. Now Yargo I've already applied a tag to, just as I was checking it out. So if we go to yesterday, and well, if we go through first of all to information, and yesterday we'll see at the bottom you got select, change name, apply monitor. So if we go down to at the bottom, so you've got your select, your change your name tab, which we've used quite substantially, and we now have an apply monitor tab. So if we click that, we've now applied a monitor to yesterday. So I'm going to just go through and do the rest as well. Of course, as it said in the manual, you can remove the monitors, but they will be removed at the beginning of the next month, whatever your month period is. And this is going to give us, what I like about this, it's going to give us some good feeding info. But we'll get through to that in a little bit more depth. Right, so I do believe we've got everything done in here now. so we can just jump out. Now if we go to a specific animal, if we go to this animal here, we will see that it is Venus, and the top part where it says animal is the information that we have always had. So we know it's going to have one baby. I'm not sure if we've had this before, but it's got impregnated by, so we know that it's been serviced by both the bulls that we have in here. And that has answered a question that I suppose I should have found out in the manual beforehand, but you don't have to have the same. So in other words, an Angus bull can service a brown Swiss cow. So yeah, so that has been serviced by both the bulls that are in here, which is probably not such a bad idea, really. It'll be interesting to see in the triplets that we get, if we have any different breeds, that we'll be able to see what's happening later. Now I'm just wondering whether you can see some sort of pregnancy happening or not. Not sure on that, but I know there's been very little done on the 3D modeling of the. Well, I'm waffling about the animal, which is not what we're really here to look at. So we're here to look at the monitor. So the monitor fee is $21 a month. This animal's health is only at 69%, so I'm a bit worried about that. So we'll have to just keep an eye on that. It could be because it's pregnant, I'm not sure. But yeah, we just need to keep an eye on that. Target weight is 714, its current weight is 609. It will drink 126 liters of water a day, straw 90 liters a day, food 450 liters a day, and liquid manure it'll produce liquid manure of 230 odd liters a day and 100 liters of manure. No milk yet. So all that information is pretty good, but what's even nicer is if you go into your PDA system map and you go down to just after the calendar, there's a new tab called monitor, and that then will show us our cow barn XL. We've got 20 animals in there, so we've got all 20 monitored. It's going to cost $432 per month to monitor that barn basically, but we now know that we need to have 7,800 or 7,842 liters a day of food. Water is automatically pumped in, so we're not too worried about that. And I don't know why we've got 2 waters per day. I think there's probably 2 water troughs in there, so but we're not too worried about that. Any other products we don't really need in there, and we'll produce manure 2,873 liters a day and 3,391 liters of liquid manure per day. So we'll go down and fill out the other. It will tag the other animals. So not every barn will obviously have animals in at the moment, because we've got these cow pastures which are empty at the moment because it's winter. So these 2 here we will then be able to work out what they require, and most of all we'll know how much food we need to produce every day, and we'll know we need to keep that at that sort of level, so we can kind of keep the food levels close to what is required, and that may be able to help with the with the food, with the weights of the animals. So if we have just slightly more than is required, so for argument's sake, if we put 10,000 litres a day of food in there, rather than putting 30,000 litres in as we have been doing and then just letting it run. We can do that if the animals are all underweight, I suppose. So that's, yeah, things that we need to work out. So that's the new monitoring system. Quite excited about that. We will tag all the other animals and get that done off camera. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go and get a tractor, and we're going to go and pick up the slurry. And I'm wondering whether we'll start getting manure again now, because the manure was suspended, and as I understood it, was to accommodate a new aspect to our realistic farming. So perhaps that'll start producing again now. We'll wait and see. But in the meantime, we are getting slurry, and then we're just topping up the manure to, well, we'll be able to tell how much manure we should be able to just buy in or get in, just to simulate that until it is fixed. But we won't do that this month. We will wait until next month and get it done then. We'll get it sorted out then. Now, I should have collected from the bullpen first. This is wasting a bit of diesel. So let's fill it up. I think there's probably about 1,200 litres in there. And we'll go and get some from the bullpen. It's probably a like-ish amount from there. It was a bit bumpy coming over here because of the way we had to build the we'll try and level off the area, and then finally we'll go and collect from our cow barn. Of course, the other thing that we need to take into account is that we've already collected from here. Not thinking again. Is that we will lose our slurry and manure production when we have in the summer months, when we have the cows out in the pastures. Better for their health, better for the meat production as well. Right, so we'll go and get that in. So we can put in about, around about 6,000 litres of manure. It'll actually be slightly less, should be slightly less than that if we look at the production. We're not going to do anything with that just yet, well, in this month. This is all the income we're going to get this month from here. Not going to be a huge amount. And we'll just empty that into there. Should automatically start reproducing. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this short and sweet episode. Do hope you found it informative. I'm quite excited about the monitoring process. As I said, I'll get everything else tagged up, and we'll see you in February, which I think is going to be quite a harsh month. I think we might have snow in February. Yeah, it is predicted to have snow in February. We predicted to get snow later on this evening. So we might have a covering of snow tomorrow, and I don't have any snow equipment, so we'll have to just struggle our way through that. This is pretty much set in the UK, and yeah, we don't seem to, well, we are never prepared for snow here, even though it does get a little bit cold. But if we do get snow, it's not for very long, so we might have to struggle through 1 month of snow. In any case, thank you once again for watching. If you've enjoyed this and found it informative, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.